So I decided to run for the school board because as a parent of students in our district, I feel that we need more representation for parents like me, working class, who have children in multiple schools, who just really want to be a part of the cog that helps make the decisions that affect everybody. I really think that bullying is a big issue in the schools. I know a lot of people say bullying, but I see it firsthand with students. Luckily, my children have not been the victims of bullying that I'm aware of. They have not made it aware to me, but I think we need to find a more proactive way to address the situation. I guess I would try to make a more clear-cut parameter of what the discipline actions can be and be consistent from school to school and from student to student, regardless of what their demographics are. It's really hard to address declining enrollment only because the city of La Crosse is landlocked. It's hard to build new housing to bring in new families, and the affordable housing that they are building isn't really affordable to families or conducive for families. Two-bedroom apartments really don't work if you have multiple children. I don't know what the answer is to bring more students here, but by getting and retaining really great staff for our schools is one way to start that way. I support the idea of consolidating Spence and Emerson together. I think that we have enough elementary schools that they could be consolidated into, maybe not necessarily both into the Hogan building, but I don't really want to see a referendum causing more money for the taxpayers at this point. Yes, I believe that our teachers and our students deserve the best and the most modern, but I think at this time, taxpayers need a break from referendum after referendum. I believe that we could close Emerson and we could close Spence, and those students could be added to other schools. Like they could go to Hamilton, they could go to Northwoods, they could go to Southern Bluffs, they could go to Hinchin, they could go to State Road, they could go to Northside, even Summit. We have enough schools, we could fill them with the students. It's just a matter of figuring out which school would be the best fit. Yeah, I was on the Facilities Advisory Committee last year, and it was very interesting and eye-opening to find out the cost for maintaining and operating the schools and the repair budgets that they use and how many students actually attend each school. I think having that little bit of background knowledge makes it easier to make decisions based on what the school needs are. I think priority-wise for consolidating the schools is making it so the class sizes aren't what they were when I grew up with 30 kids in a classroom. I also think it's important that we don't lose any of our staff. We have amazing teachers at all levels in the district, and I would hate to consolidate and lose jobs, and I think there's ways that they can all still retain that, and it would be the best. So students' needs and teachers' needs first. If the referendum fails, I would absolutely look at all the information as I did when I was on the Facilities Advisory Committee. And I really believe that if closing the school or two schools is our best option, then that's what we need to do. Because at the end of the day, if there's no money, there's no money. And we need to keep the money where we have it so that our students aren't getting less than they deserve and our teachers aren't working with less than they need. I think I'm a good candidate for school board because I've went to school here my entire education career. And my children now attend school here. I was on the PTO at Roosevelt and Northside. I was on the Facilities Advisory Committee. So I've seen all sides of it as a parent, as a volunteer in the schools, and as a volunteer with the school district. I think that I'm approachable, and honestly, I want what's best for everybody. I think if I were elected to the school board, I'd want more input from the teachers for the curriculum that they're teaching. I feel very strongly that even though I'm good at math, I'm not necessarily the person who should decide which math textbooks the teacher should be teaching from. And I think that having the teachers involved in that discussion would just make their job much easier, and we'd get much better return for our money spent on school tools and academic materials. I guess what I'd like people to know about me is I'm really just a mom who really wants what's best for my kids and for other kids in the district. I want to be a voice for people who feel voiceless, and I just really hope that you consider me on April 2nd when it's election day and write in Kathi Blanchard.